Now, if you've come to this video from the last one I did, you'll have seen that the last one uh, ended abruptly as there was this telephone ringing in the background. That happened to have been my cell phone, even though my landline is up. And the only time I get calls on my cell phone when my landline is up in the past has been when it has been some kind of an emergency call, which was the only reason I took that call and shut off my camera in the middle of a take to get it. And then, whenever I took the call, it turned out to have been a junk call. And I almost never receive junk calls on my cell phone. Get them on my landline. So I went and started looking up this rogue number and doing the rest of the so-called legwork when you go online to process these rogue numbers. While I was doing that, I was interrupted by a second rogue call. And that first one I didn't think was that important, so I started working on the second one. And while I was doing that, the same caller called back within the same minute. And then again. No. In between the first one and the one that called me twice, I got two more bogus calls I had to look up. Now, this is never had 5 calls in 10 minutes, and they were all from people I have no knowledge of. Has never happened before, and the fact that it happened when I was interrupted during the middle of my first take on my new channel where I deconstructed discussion of narcissism. Okay, the first thing that you're going to think is paranoia because it's just a coincidence. Well, you can separate things that could have been coincidences but are highly suspicious not to have been coincidences, and if enough of them pan out to have been actually deliberate action, you know you are not dealing with coincidences, or is very rational. It would be the way to bet that it was not coincidences. When people do things that are deniable, very plausibly deniable, that is done to set up the target or the victim to be discredited. Now, I have had plenty of other warnings, gaslighting on my computer, that somebody can see my keystrokes and they might be taking screenshots, or they might be watching me through my webcam based on the stuff that they have reacted to, or the things that they've done seem to have been clues communicated to me to show that they know what I'm doing and they want me to know I'm being watched. I've read reports from other people who were doing investigative research into others who were stalking or spying someone who have reported the same things. And there is a difference between what somebody says when it's plausible and what somebody says when they're just a patsy and believing something somebody's saying that wants them to believe it, who themselves knows it isn't true, or if it's the work of the original hoaxer. And I've had trolls who appear to be shills on other internet entities that I've created. And whenever I warn people, you should be doing more to keep trolls off your site, they just laugh it off, or they just go ahead and delete the whole entity without another thought. Well, I don't think that an internet entity where you've got a lot of visitors is anything just to be thrown aside without another thought. There are so many things that bug me about what I'll broadly call social media on the internet that it defies description as to how much abuse has to be involved for this to be going on. I have trouble believing it myself, even though that's exactly the direction in which the facts point. But um, so if I have trouble even convincing myself to follow the facts, I know that that's going to be magnified 8 times by whoever watches it.